Atsura asked me to train a crop of new sailors. Guess the sharpshooting lesson. Should have spent that time talking about home. I didn't stay long. We sailed north for target practice, then circled back. Should have kept going.
I don't get this at all. There was a Dawn Star settlement on HASONGO. The place got trampled just the same. This is Wide Wen all over again. Only now we know it really is Aethys behind it. I'll tell you one thing. When we catch up to that unstoppable god statue, me and him are gonna have words. Lava better be alright.
That's Gon's footprint, and it looks like it's headed toward that lighthouse to the west.
Got someone in my sights.
Smarts, don't it?
Flogging a figurehead. Futile. See
What can
that
I do
beauty
you
of a
for?
hit, Maya?
Loweth, Ixie, honor.
See that, Ishi? Right between the eyes. Ha!
Shut the door, quick, before the Naga get in. Defending the wounded. Guarding our supplies until the Hazonui's reinforcements arrive.
Captain, 2 places I've seen that look. Healers' tents and exceptional brothels. This is neither.
Wait, you're not the reinforcements. There are supposed to be reinforcements. The first thing was the Colossus. It showed up a few days ago, a week ago, I can't be sure. But it was huge. Glowed like luminous Audra. That monster that killed our people?
I suppose he does look like a monster from down here.
I told you, Zuhira. The Godhammer scrambled their god, and now he's taking his revenge.
Our gods are above petty motivations like revenge. No, Gon's got a bigger plan for you and me.
It's no coincidence your Aethys shows up just as Latharn storms out.
The Colossus was coming right for us. Fleetmaster Ko ordered the gunhawks and cannoneers to take up positions. They fought. The rest of us were sent below, like cowards. I heard cannon blasts, artillery fire, felt the world shake. Then the water started coming in. We came back up, and the others were... I don't know, like they'd been turned to ash. And the Colossus was walking away. The fort was flooding, where it had broken our walls, and the luminous Audra in the lighthouse had gone dark. On the western side of the fort, it's a true marvel, a monument to Rawatayan engineering.
Proof we can tame and transform this place, once we get rid of the scale bellies.
The Naga.
They skulked in after, once our walls were down. Those of us who were left fought. But those cowards moved through the sunken hallways. Ambushed us from below. Those snakes are little more than animals. No match for trained Rawatayan warriors. When the Hazonui's reinforcements get here, we'll strike back.
And build our walls back up so nothing gets through. And double our cannons. So we can destroy that Colossus if it ever comes back.
Dawn Stars.
Fleetmaster Ko hired them to tend the fields that supply the mainland, but they started acting strange, dreaming strange.
You mean dreaming of things to come?
One of them, Latharin, had a row with the Fleetmaster over it, left angry just before the Colossus showed up. You think that's a coincidence?
I think their praying called it here, getting back at us for the Godhammer. Even if not, they definitely know something.
Spitting at our god? You ought to fear for the future of your soul.
Is there anything else? The finest cannons and bombards in the archipelago. Why, you can barely walk the ramparts without... There's still one. There must be one. They can't all have been destroyed. But you'll need a trained artillerist to aim it.
The big guns and me are on friendly terms already, Captain.
Zahira, assistant quartermaster. Don't go back out there. You'll be safe here until reinforcements arrive.
Just stay away from the water. Damn scale bellies are hiding down there. They'll ambush if you get close.
Sometimes you can see them, if you look carefully.
Ask someone else.
Is there anything...
Can't hide from me.
For the homeland!
Oi, watch it! You're mine!
Smart, don't it?
Death to our enemy!
Parathis!
Like flogging a
What can I do you
figurehead.
for? I reap what I sow. All right.
I'm listening.
Ha!
You see that, Ethan?
Ha! Ha!
Ha!
More than half hands, you are. Right, screwed.
Still got it.
Consider it done.
Smells like home, doesn't it, Ishi?
Damn.
Moly.
I'll have to cast
Oh,
again.
What did you find, Ishi?
All right. Not a problem.
Scallywag's hoe, Cap.
Might as well be hitting the water.
What happened?
Ixie.
So you are. I meant to.
You see that, Ishi?
God, that were a beaut.
For the Roman Nui.
Another attack, Cap. Attack.
Arthek Worthen Roth.
Another attack, Cap. Boy, watch it.
Didn't work. Let's read the say your
Shut your
prayers.
fella.
Didn't work. Time to separate the chaff.
Still got it.
I'm
listening.
Boy, watch it.
Rebirth
You were
awaits
saying?
me.
For the Roman Nui.
Yeah.
Might as well be hitting the water.
What do you need?
Moeth.
Beaut.
Can't get a clean hit.
Stay behind me.
Damn him, blast.
I reap what I sow.
Already on it.
Of course.
Your orders? Huh. Right between the eyes.
Yeah.
Ha! Ishi!
Consider it done. Not a problem.
Ha! Still got it.
Hides here. I taste his fear. Open.
Not happening.
Like flogging a fig. Now you be right screwed. What happened? Shut the fella.
Jesus, straight.
That'll do it.
Finally, some peace and quiet. Just keep that bird away from my work.
Stand down, Ishi. The man is doing important work.
Slave sphincter, those snakes were noisy. I don't suppose you brought any extra parchment with you? I'm writing it all down. My research, my work, something to survive before the next walk-in Colossus, the next Naga warband. Do you need something? If not, I should focus. So much to do. What didn't? A Colossus made of Adra marched through the fort, grew bright like luminous, and scores of soldiers fell dead. Incredible.
If Aethys got to them first, then you can fit their remains in a pouch of white leaf.
Then the Naga killed everyone else. Except Latharn, I suppose. Yes, he must have left. Dawnstar fellow.
He's gotta be acting on his dreams, trying to help our god.
They should split up. Safer that way. Better odds. Do you need something? If only one. Just a prototype. In there.
Captain, I don't ask for much. I need to see this thing go off.
It is most impressive. You're welcome to it. I only ask that you compile notes on the blast radius, detonation temperature, smoke formation, debris trajectory. How indeed. Naga everywhere. Suppose your best chance will be up along the walls, west and south. But how to get there? Better perhaps to keep going south, around the edge of the fort, through Fleet Master Ko's office. More cover from the Naga. Safety in numbers, eh? A comforting illusion. Let the others have it if they wish it. I must see that my work survives.
Already on it. Hide from me.
Oh, might as well be hitting the water.
See that beauty of a hit, Maya?
Might as well be hitting the water.
For our enemies.
Mo, for the wrong news.
God, that were a beauty.
You're mine!
Thick Worthen Roth. Ain't you got the
Better run.
decency to die?
Might as well be hitting
Ain't
the
you
water.
got the decency to die?
Your orders? Huh. Still got it.
Not a problem.
Good, Captain.
Consider it done.
What is this? Come closer. You glow so brightly, just like the away. The striped fiends profane the island, endlessly burrowing, building. They bury the Adra under stone. Sugan says we must find a way in. Sugan says I must find a way in. Speaker for the gods. Grandfather to many. He leads us here. And here I must find a way in. The fiends gather at the walls, searching too. Not for me, but they see me still. The way? I am searching for a way. Show me.
What for, Cap?
Yeah?
Aye? Captain? Captain?
Death to our enemies!
Nuh-uh, didn't work.
You see that, Ichi?
Moeth, Ixie, Oneth.
You were saying?
You're mine! You're a beaut. This fight is...
Watch
Death
me
to our
work.
enemies.
Moeth, Ixie, Oneth.
I'm listening. Ha!
Moeth, Ixie, Oneth.
Got someone in my sight.
Already on it. Not a problem.
Ah, remember this little soldier? Glad to see you made it, friend.
Moeth, Ixie, Oneth.
That's how it's done.
Ishiza, strike!
Run!
You see that, Ishi?
Well, hey, tell me what's on your mind. They're there in my head when I sleep, and sometimes it's time I got about.
I got time.
The sea-striped fiends send you to uproot the tree of the gods, yes? Their blasphemy knows no bounds.
Give the order, Captain. Or just nod. I'm not picky.
So, the fiends corrupt even the sand-striped ones. Now I taste their stench on her. If you join them in befouling the Adra, then you will join them in death, too. The tree of the gods, yes, which these fiends plunder and profane. Go! Carry a warning of what you have seen to the other shufflers. That shufflers must not disturb these roots, or the gods will destroy the islands again. Do your stories say nothing of the many disasters? Of the shuffler nests washed away like foam many generations ago? The sand-striped ones built great hives across the islands, and bastions around the Adra roots. Your kind. Many different types, some fleshy or hairy, others striped in the colors of sand or sea. All stumble and shamble like sun-blind hatchlings. Their meddling displeased the gods. So the gods smashed their works with heaving volcanoes and crashing waves. Our ancestors hid deep where the waters quenched the fires and muffled the storms. They remembered while shufflers scattered. Now, the shufflers build again. The gods see. They will tear them all down. If your fat tongue speaks true, then give us proof. If this is not some fat-tongued lie, then show us. Approach. Restore the blessing of the gods to the Adra.
As your hand touches the dim Audra, you feel the same cool, pricking sensation that you did when you touched the pillar near Port Mage. You concentrate on the pillar. The world around you swiftly falls away, leaving only the vast emptiness of the in-between. The Audra, and a multitude of golden threads undulating off into the distance. For a second time, you gather the threads in your mind and bind them together, forming a solid tether that ripples out toward its distant anchor. Again, a crack sounds from the terminus. Your consciousness is violently pulled along the cord. You are prepared for the sensation this time, but are still disoriented when you come to a sudden stop. You find yourself standing behind a familiar Titanic statue as it trudges through invisible waters. Standing at Aethys's shoulder, your soul is dwarfed by the massive god's form. Energy pulses along the tether, each wave feeding the Audra's movements. He stops. His head cranes behind him, again accompanied by the sound of stone shearing and buckling. His eyes rest upon you. He does not reach for the cord, but considers you for a long span of silence before speaking.
Your first attempt to contact me was brave. This second attempt, is it born out of desperation or something else? Why do you continue to follow me, Watcher of Cadnua? Yes, they must want answers. But why do the biddings of the gods matter to you? That is a cruel bargain, to be a god's pawn. And you do so knowing how we came to be.
Aethys becomes silent. You can sense his presence advancing back along the cord between you. His energy flows over your hand, tendrils of light probing into the air around you. They poke and prod at the silent lost souls hovering in your vicinity.
You are in a unique position. In spite of the work of the Leaden Key and Hand Occult, you have seen through our facade. You know the gods' true nature. Without the benefit of your knowledge, few mortals would be willing to accept the true history of their gods. After all, we weren't. The last time I walked Aora, I made a mistake in not revealing my true purpose. I believe you would understand it better than most. Yes, I will tell you, but this is not the time. As I take this body farther from the lighthouse, the tether grows weaker, and I have already tarried too long. Soon this link will unravel completely. If I have not reached my destination when that happens, I will need to pull more souls from your world. It is. When you contacted me from Port Mage, I had to sever my tether to the luminous Audra. Without it, I lacked the strength to reach HASONGO. I pulled souls from the creatures of the ocean and from the people at HASONGO until I could reach the lighthouse. The soldiers and Naga there were no threat to me. I did not kill them out of malice, but simply to keep this body moving. That question, Watcher, requires a more philosophical examination than we have time for.
The edges of Aethys's massive form blur and dissolve. The huge figure retreats from you. As it moves, the tether begins to rapidly unravel. As Aethys speaks, his voice sounds garbled, fragmented, and distant.
If you would know more, find me at the Ashen Maw in Margaren's Teeth. I must rest there before I begin my final work. When I leave that place, you will not be able to follow. Before I go, I should return some of this to you. I still have need of the great power of your soul, but I can spare you this portion.
A pulse of energy moves back along the golden cord toward you. It feels familiar, comforting, even before it contacts you. The energy washes over you, flooding you with feelings and memories you had thought long forgotten, until they settle back into the cracks of your soul. And then the tether and cord snap, Aethys's figure evaporating into dust that mingles with the endless gray expanse. Heat rushes over you, and the uncomfortable sensation of the Audra Pillar's presence cuts off. The gloom of the in-between is pierced by the light of the living world. You are back in the lighthouse, no longer dim. The luminous Audra beside you is filled with warmth and light.
Long have we kept peace with the sand-striped people, but then the foreign ones came and spread, killed our people, built their hives everywhere.
Your type weren't exactly accommodating.
We were sure the Godwalker came to cast them out, that driving them away was a holy mission. We must go. I know not what this means, but our brethren should hear of it.
Not an option, Snake. Bet you were keeping count of how many good soldiers you fanged. Captain? Vengeance for my countrymen! Got someone in my sights.
You're my...
That was about as useful as a bump on a pickle. Moeth, Ixie,
They were friends.
that dog won't hunt.
Death to our enemy!
That was about as useful as a bump on a
You
pickle.
handle me that drink, Maya.
Ready when you...
Glory be to God! This luminous Audra ought to be able to take my soul's watcher. What do you say? Get ready to witness the feat of a lifetime, Watcher. I'm about to do God's good work, to single-handedly shepherd a multitude of souls straight into the depths of hell. Then keep your eyes peeled, cause it's gonna happen fast as a fire beetle flash. The Audra'll snatch 'em right quick once I conjure the light. So don't look away. I can't! Watcher, I can't do it! Stop me, Ugh, son of a god's darn motherless cur! That hurt worse than a back-to-back whooping from Uncle Angbert's quarterstaff. Thank God I'll never, ever be doing that again. Good God. I feel so very much. How couldn't I be? I can feel it prickling under my skin. I've strived to do God's will ever since I was a little girl. Huddling in the back of the barn, bathed in darkness. I just never knew reaping could feel so... good. Look at my lantern shine, Watcher. Beautiful as a harvest moon dripping red with blood.
Captain, a word? You've spoken to Aethys, which means you know what we're up against. If the fleet sailed up to him and fired every cannon at once, I imagine we'd have a fighting chance at taking a chip off his kneecap. There's no stopping him, is there? So that's a no? I suppose there's a certain appeal to recognizing the inevitable. It reminds me of the first time I shot to kill. There he stood, a pirate captain barking orders from the forecastle. The wind toyed with us. A cannon blast took me by surprise. I don't know if Bareth kicked open a door or the Sky Mother held my hand, but that man was meant to die. I've got that same feeling now. Better or worse, I know that Aethys is meant to succeed. Hope I didn't take the wind out of your sail. Whether or not we can change anything, at least we can say we were there. That's more than most people get. I've got some answers. Oh, you wanted something, Captain? What, me? I'll go ahead and say it. You're halfway toward all right. Oh, I know. But it's kind of you to say. Have you ever... Dumb question, but here I go anyway. You ever gotten close to someone, even though it just wasn't... ordinary? Yeah, that about kicks the legs out from under ordinary, doesn't it? What I'm talking about is a scenario where a difference in rank can get in the way of... Yeah, that about covers it. I'm just testing the direction of the wind here. Best not to overthink it. As winds do. I've enjoyed that sort of arrangement before. Nothing to suggest I won't enjoy it again someday. Naturally. It's all hypothetical here. Well, I've laid out my thoughts. You must have a couple. Be a pleasure, Captain. Funny thing is that Ishii can get particular about people, and when he doesn't take to someone, neither do I. Did I say that? Not everyone's a bird lover, but Ishii and I are never parted for longer than a few breaths. Try not to use any foul language.
Well, this is unexpected. What exactly did you set out to accomplish by peering into the soul of this noble creature? I see. You must put a great deal of faith in Maya to find yourself in this situation. The prospect of sharing her company. I can tell from here that it intrigues. Far be it from me to judge affection. Better that it bloom or wilt uninterrupted, while the DEADFIRE is being cut, cauterized, and trampled. It is charming to find someone who makes time for such elaborate foreplay. Observing, the one you call a Shiza makes for a convenient lens into your travels. Try not to take it too personally. Do you often turn to birds for relationship advice? I sense that Maya does not easily allow others into her confidence. She has much on her mind. Or, didn't you know? Perhaps it isn't for me to say. I babble. What does the goddess of creativity know of kith courtship? I can say for certain that this is a very hungry, overworked, and at times underappreciated bird. He and Maya share that much in common, at least. Beyond that, I leave the rest up to you. Best of luck in your mating ritual, Watcher.
I hope that was as amusing for you as it was for me.
I've got some answers. Trying to get on his good side, are ya? He's developed a taste for shark meat since we arrived at the DEADFIRE. Going back to the Rawatayan diet will be hard on us both. If that's how you'd prefer it.
Say no more. I'll give you some room to breathe. Come on, Ishii.